This is episode probably like 7 or 8, or
I think we might
don't
be
think
at
anyone's
like
keeping track at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you had to bet, probably
somewhere. I'd say
8?
like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably go like 8 or 9.
Of the there's a bunch of hacks talking about movies. 3 hacks in a
3 hacks in a movie
podcast.
There we
yeah.
go. Yep.
Still a work in progress on the title. Could be a element to change, honestly.
I mean, we could, yeah. It's good for now. I mean, it might be good forever. Who knows? Well, only time will tell, I guess. But for now,
We haven't
it's a good
copyrighted it
placeholder.
yet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We no registered trademark on that one yet.
We just finished watching another. It was my pick this time because I like to pick the foreign movies. It's kind of been a running theme.
And who are you?
I'm Bentley.
Yeah, who even is you?
I'm Bentley.
I'm RJ.
Emilio.
And today's movie is The Bicycle Thieves, or I guess just Bicycle Thieves.
Yeah, just bicycle.
Bicycle Thieves.
What's the Italian pronunciation?
Italian word. It's an Italian movie, and it's called
Fettuccine Alfredo.
Ladri di Biciclette. Ladri di Biciclette.
Yeah, I also try to get the first part. Yeah, I think it's ladri. Yeah, like ladri di bicicletta. Because I think it's still bicicletta, because that's what I kept hearing the entire movie.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing.
Even though it does end in an E.
Honestly, out of any movie I've watched, this is probably the one I'm most worried to talk about.
Really?
In a way, because I feel like there's really not a whole lot to say about this movie. Like, it was really good, but it's kind of just like one thing happens to him a little bit and he deals with it, and then it's kind of over.
But he doesn't deal with it, right? I mean, that's this whole thing. He can't. I mean, it's a pretty it's not a messed up movie, obviously, but again, dude, I said this earlier. It's very like just like the other Italian films we saw, where it's just like the day in the life of this guy who's just like, obviously he's not like, you know, and like Lucina, he's like a famous journalist, or 8.5, right? That was the other one that we saw.
Yeah.
Or he's like a famous director. This is just a regular Joe Schmo looking for work, because this is like, I mean, it's only 3 years after World War II, right? It was like
1948.
Yeah, so this is still probably like war-torn Italy, essentially. Like they're still rebuilding in a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't mention the war that much, but you can definitely tell.
Yeah,
like,
you don't. Yeah, which I'm a little surprised by. Yeah.
And he's like kind of like a down on his luck. Like he's poor. He's eating like egg sandwiches.
Yeah, egg sandwiches.
And stuff.
Yeah, which I was also still wondering. I was like, is that like their egg salad sandwich, or is it really like they just like, I don't know, scrambled up some eggs or cooked up a sunny side egg and just put it between 2 pieces of bread or something?
I used to eat egg salad sandwiches, and all I can say is that just makes me sad thinking about it, man. Those sandwiches suck. Those are just bad sandwiches.
Why'd you eat them?
I don't know. My fucking family made them.
Oh, dude. Okay. I mean, yeah, there's some things I still didn't eat from my family. Like, yeah, right. If I really don't like it, I'm not going to eat it. But yeah, an egg sandwich, that sounds awful. Like, put an egg
sandwich.
Like
you can
on,
do it right.
on something that already is a sandwich, like, you know, some ham, some bacon, some whatever, and then you throw like a sunny side egg up on there.
Some hollandaise sauce.
That's amazing.
Kind of like an eggs Benedict sandwich.
Yeah.
We're cooking here, bro. Coming up with...
This is a cooking podcast now where we just talk about food.
But yeah, Bicycle Thieves, kind of touted. I've seen it a lot of places as touted as being like one of the best movies ever made. Have you guys ever heard about this one at all? Like out there in the
I'm sure in some one of those like Criterion closet picks I saw, you know, people talk about Bicycle Thieves and stuff like that, but not a lot, honestly. Just I've never heard actually someone talk about the movie, but they might have mentioned kind of like in passing, like, oh yeah, that's a great, like one of the best Italian films ever made or whatever.
You hear film people talk about it. I
Yeah.
feel like. Not really like just normal people.
Yeah, I definitely hadn't heard about it until you mentioned it a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm. I think Scorsese likes it, and I don't know. It's always on the top list of like best like foreign films a lot of the time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we saw something on the Wikipedia about that, or it's like, yeah, what is it? Empire Magazine's 100 best films of the world, of world cinema.
What did it win? What was the number one? It gets high up there.
And number. Oh yeah, it's at number 4. Yeah, in Empires. Wow.
Yeah, it's very commonly high up there. And honestly, after watching it, I liked it, but I'm like, maybe I have to watch it again. But I feel like I've seen like foreign films that offer a lot more to think about.
Yeah, it's so I was going into this thinking it was gonna be very like artsy, and it is kind of like artsy. It's a simple story, and it's just a man about like down like who's like down on his luck, kind of like, and finally a glimmer of hope happens, and it's immediately snatched away from him. But I don't know why, because when I think about like Italian movies, I think it's usually like an art house film or just something very like artsy, and only people who watch films would watch these kinds of things. But it's definitely not as artsy as I thought it was gonna be. I was like, I mean, the story is super easy to follow, and I don't think there was like a lot of like symbolism or anything, like no metaphors. It's just a very straightforward story about a bicycle thief or bicycle thieves.
Mm-hmm. So, I guess the synopsis I have the DVD right here as usual because
the Criterion
collection.
Yep.
I'm a little snooty up in this bit, and it actually starts off hailed around the world as one of the greatest movies ever made. The Academy Award-winning Bicycle Thieves, directed by Vittorio De Sica, defined an era in cinema. In poverty-stricken post-war Rome, a man is on his first day of a new job that offers hope of salvation for his desperate family when his bicycle, which he needs to work, is stolen. With his young son in tow, he sets off to track down the thief. Simple in construction and profoundly rich in human insight, Bicycle Thieves embodies the greatest strengths of the Italian neo-realist movement. That's like Fellini and stuff, neo-realism.
Okay.
Emotional clarity, social rectitude, and brutal honesty. And brutal honesty. This movie is definitely brutally honest, especially with that ending.
Yeah, I mean, without like obviously going too much into the ending, I remember saying that I was like, "Damn, dude! Like Italians or like foreign films are really not afraid to give you like the sad ending. It's not like I said, if an American made this movie, he would have tried to give it a happy ending, essentially, one way or another. But Italians are like, no, this guy, he's just." He did not get the happy ending, unfortunately. It was very real. But it was very real.
And it makes
That's
you think, too,
a
little bit, too, because it's like, it totally negates everything that happened before, but it also kind of like explains it in a way, without giving it away before we explain the synopsis.
So I was also wondering, like, because neo just means new, right?
Yeah.
So let's like new realism.
So realism was probably a movement before that, but neorealism is sort of like the idea is that you're like mixing dreams with dream imagery with like real life. I think.
Oh,
that's my understanding of it.
Okay, I have no idea.
That's like what Fellini used to do, and he would mix like dream, like you don't know if like what you're watching is actually happening.
Okay.
Or not, but like I guess this is neorealist. I wouldn't have defined it as neorealist.
Yeah, because like even the definition,
even
like the definition you just gave me, and then comparing it to those Fellini movies, I don't think
I could be wrong, but
I don't think I would have put them in that like category. I just think it's a very like realistic movie.
Yeah, there's nothing too dreamlike about.
Yeah,
this
there's
movie.
nothing like grand, like something insane happen. It's not like. Whatever, like 8.5. He's not working on this like, Italy's biggest film or whatever, and it's like a sci-fi or whatever. Or there's no grand parties, there's no nothing. It's just he's just a normal guy. He's not a super famous character or anything.
Yeah, this guy.
I mean, neo-realist is. I think this is like the first time I've heard that term. So I had no idea what that would even entail.
Yeah, I haven't read their Wikipedia myself, honestly, on neorealism, but I'm pretty sure it's you combine the real with like the dreamlike or the fantasy, and like you don't know like there's like you can't really tell the difference between the two, but
okay, for sure.
So our main character is Antonio. So this is like in post-war Europe, so he's outside one day and he's looking for work. And there's just a guy like on the steps in front of a building, like giving out jobs.
Yeah, I guess this is how it was done.
It was like an employment office or something.
Employment office.
Yeah. That's what they said.
So they're literally outside. There's like 50 people just like looking for work. Like trabajo, whatever.
He kind of cut. Doesn't he cut in front of the line? Like I forget because I don't know who the main character is.
It's not really
like cuts in front of the line and tries to get a job, right?
Though.
He was calling out names, and he called out Ricci, Tonio Ricci, and then his friend, character. And then his friend like ran over and like told him, "Oh, we got a job for you."
Yeah, so
the job requires a bicycle.
Yeah, the job requires a bicycle, and he said like, "Well, this is like the reason you're getting the job is because you have a bicycle," and he was saying like. well, I don't have one right now. And he was like, oh, well, if you don't, then we're going to have to give the job to somebody else. And like, okay, whatever. Like, I'll get a bicycle. And then I was wondering, like, because I think he just flat out says, like, the reason why you're getting this is because you have a bicycle. And I'm like, is that like on his resume or something? Like, I own a bicycle or something.
Bicycle certified.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But I just thought it was funny. I was just like,
they're expensive, dude. 7,000
lira.
That sounds kind of expensive to me, but
yeah. It was 7,000, right?
Something like that, well, it said his monthly salary for that job was going to be 12,000. Yeah. So.
And he was going to get overtime at like 800 or something. And then I guess he gets like a stipend from the government, because I think he says he mentioned something about an allowance that they get.
Right. I didn't understand the allowance.
Yeah. So I thought maybe that's like their social security or whatever. Yeah. Like some government money, some kind of welfare or whatever.
Because they're pretty down on their luck. You can tell. Like, they're very, very poor. The house is kind of dirty that they live in. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, again,
they're not homeless.
Eating egg sandwiches. What do they sell? Bed sheets, right? They have to go pawn off bed sheets just to buy the bicycle back. And I guess those must have been some really nice bed sheets, because I think they got like $7,500 for it or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know they didn't have a lot left over after he bought the bike back. But I was just like, damn, you just traded 6 bed sheets for a bicycle, essentially. Like, just whatever, cotton versus steel.
Different economy, man.
Yeah. So I was like, dang, that's crazy. Like, again, it must have been some really nice bed sheets. Yeah, man, I don't know. This movie, it was cool. Like, I liked it. I actually kind of like a movie every once in a while where the story is just straightforward. It's I forgot, in your synopsis, did it say what happens to him, or
no? I read the whole thing, honestly.
And I didn't even say that his bike got stolen, right?
Well, the title says that.
I know that. Yeah, well, the title says it. Well,
honestly, going into the movie, I thought he was gonna steal a bicycle because at the beginning of the movie he needed a bicycle for his job,
right? But then he pawned his bicycle and he was buying it back or something,
right? Yeah. So I thought before it showed any of that that he was just gonna steal a bicycle, and then I don't know, maybe some guy was gonna be tracking him down.
Yeah,
in the whole movie,
Right? Yeah.
I mean, going into it with not knowing anything about it, I read the title "Bicycle Thieves," so I thought maybe it's about a group of bicycle thieves or something. Yeah,
that's true, actually.
Yeah, just kind of going into it.
I didn't even consider that. The fact that it's called Thieves and not Bicycle Thief.
Multiple, yep.
Because it's like he's out there and he's like almost kind of paranoid. Like, everybody has my bike. Like, you can see everybody fucking pushing their bikes, and there's like close-ups on the bikes, and there's like hundreds of them or dozens of them or whatever. And it's like,
yeah, and you can actually see that he's still paranoid. Or he was very paranoid about the bike in the beginning when he's walking through. I don't know what it was. It wasn't like a factory, but there was like a bunch of people working, and he's literally carrying his bicycle like with one arm. And one guy is like, hey, like, what are you doing? Like, he's just like, why are you walking and carrying that around? Like, are you afraid something's gonna happen or some shit like that? And then,
use it as a weapon or something.
I was thinking like, oh yeah, this dude's gonna go everywhere with his bicycle because he knows obviously how fucking important bicycles are, I guess, in this world. Even though, like, literally everyone in this world has a bicycle, it seems like, there are so many bikes in this movie.
It's a walkable city.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, my quick synopsis of the movie would just be an unemployed man finally gets work, but to do the work, he needs a bicycle.
Which he pawned off for, like, money.
So yeah, to feed his family and stuff like that.
He buys it back.
He gets it back by, trading some sheets or whatever. And then on his first day of work, his bicycle unfortunately gets stolen by, some hoodlum or whatever, rapscallion, if you will. And he chases him down, doesn't catch him. And
gets in some guy's car. He's like, oh, there he is.
Yeah, follow him.
The classic trope. Oh, it's the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Oops, he called the wrong guy. I feel like I've seen that in so many movies.
It's probably where it comes from.
Maybe, yeah. Right.
I mean, this is from 1948. But yeah, so basically the whole movie is about him trying to get his bicycle back because obviously buying another one really is not an option.
Yeah.
So he's just on a hunt for his bicycle. And I don't know why I thought about this at the end of the movie.
That is a synopsis.
Him trying to get his bicycle back, I'm just like, oh, dude, this is the first iteration of John Wick because the whole movie is about getting his car back. Obviously, also getting revenge, but he's just trying to get his car back the whole entire time. I was like, bro, this is probably what John Wick was based on. It was fucking bicycle thieves, man.
He's just more of like a,
but not a super
boring,
not a super assassin.
John Wick,
unfortunately, yeah, he's just some regular Joe Schmo or whatever the Italian version of that is.
So he gets a gang that includes like his son, like one of his friends, I think.
Yeah, I think they're just all his like buddies or whatever. Yeah,
and they just like start looking around town. Like one guy's like, "You go look for bells. I'll go look for the frame. You go look for the tires." Because at this point, they think that the bike was sold. For scrap.
Apparently in this world, because bike thieves are very popular in this time period in Rome. Apparently, and he says multiple times like, oh, they chop it up, you know, like they'll sell the tires here, get rid of the bells here, and then you know, just so like it's harder to track the bike, I guess. Which I guess makes sense. So I thought like, wow, it's a chop shop for fucking bicycles apparently, and there's like a black market bicycle,
like a serial number on the bike that he's like looking for, or whatever, which is kind of like like his whole effort to find the bike seems so pointless in a way, because it's like.
There's
so many bikes.
Find it? Yeah,
exactly. How the fuck are you gonna find one single bike?
Yeah. I know that was the whole thing. Like, I mean, you see him being overwhelmed when he actually starts looking for the bike. Right. There's just so many people riding bikes. There's bikes parked like alongside the road, and you just see like hundreds and hundreds, and then.
But it's so important for him, dude. His life depends on his bike,
exactly.
Like his family, his kids.
Again, that salary apparently is very impressive at this time, like 12,000 lira or whatever. Like that's a big deal for sure.
It's just a bike, bro.
But it is
toy.
But it is like, I mean, I don't think it's supposed to be representation of his life or whatever, but it's obviously. It is everything to him, because that's what was going to, give him an income essentially, and a good one at that.
Definitely.
Yeah, but yeah.
From an outsider's view, it's just a kid's toy, but for him, it's like literally just what keeps his life going.
It is. Yeah, it's exactly. He has no work without it, and to everyone else, it's just a thing that they ride to get to point A to point B or whatever.
Yeah, nobody really wants to help him that much. I feel.
Yeah,
like.
Dude. Oh my god. Yeah, when someone like when he's like, stop him. Bicycle thief or whatever, like no one does anything, and I'm like, damn, people really like, come on, like someone do something, like throw a shoe, damn it. I don't know, man. I was just like, really pissed me off. I was like, damn, no one fucking helped this guy. Like that sucks. Yeah, man. You just feel really bad for the guy throughout the whole movie, because I mean, what's on the line. It's his entire livelihood, and just seeing this man, he's just, slowly starting to like lose hope, because in the beginning he's like, you know what, maybe it is possible, and then kind of like halfway through he's like, yeah, no, we're probably never gonna find this thing. And then at the point where he does finally find, he sees a guy on it actually, right? Or
on his bike?
Yeah, remember he sees him, and then he saw him talking to that old man or whatever, and then he tries to chase him down.
Oh, they like sell the bike, or it looks like he sells the bike to him or something.
I don't know.
That's what I assumed, is that the old man was selling the bike to him or something.
No, he was already on it.
He was already on it.
Yeah, the young guy was already on it. Yeah.
Right.
He's just like, whatever, you owe me like 100 lira.
But was it for sure his bike? Like, I don't think we ever find that out.
I don't know if it was for sure his bike, but he knew it was the guy who stole.
Yeah.
So you would, I don't know, kind of assume that it is either that or he just stole another bike and he's just riding around on it.
Do you get a good look of the guy who steals a bike in the movie?
You get a decent look, yeah. Oh yeah.
So you know for sure it's
because for us we see him like slowly walk up to it, so you do get a better look at him than probably. We got a better look than fucking Antonio did.
He's scoping out the bike while Antonio's doing his job. When he's up on the ladder, you see him kind of like scoping out the bike, and he's hiding behind a car and like looking for a good opportunity to swoop in.
And his friend like helps him too, because you see like one scoping, like they both kind of look at it, and you see one start heading back towards his bike, and the other one kind of hanging out like a little more down the sidewalk or whatever. And then he tries to stop Antonio. Remember, he was like, "What's the problem?" And then just like. Whatever, he obviously gets around him pretty easily. And
then serendipitously, he happens to run across him, or he sees him from in the distance on his bike, and then he like chases him down.
Yeah, there's like a day.
My bike.
Yeah.
He talks.
It's like a day or two later. Yeah.
Yeah. He starts like interrogating the old man like he's a fucking cop.
Yeah.
Follows him to a church and starts making a whole scene at the church.
Oh yeah.
Trying to like,
dude, that old man. Mm-hmm. I don't think like the old man obviously had anything to do with anything, so I just felt kind of bad for him. I was like, dude, okay, like, yeah, clearly he does know him, but he gave him some information. Hey, he lives in this area or whatever. He lives in this building. And then he's like, you're coming with me. Even I was kind of like, okay, now you're asking too much, bro. Like, this is like a 70-year-old man. He like moves super slow, which he also still lost a track of at one point. And I'm like, bro, how did you lose a man who can barely move? Like,
he's like,
crazy.
He's like forcing his problem to be other people's problem in a really just like annoying way. Yeah, the main character.
Yeah.
He's like, he's getting everybody involved, and he's like grabbing people by the cuff of their collar, basically, like saying, "Hey, tell me where this person lives."
His friends were real ones for trying to actually help him. Like, for such a mission that seems so, again, like pointless, right? Because how the fuck are they going to find a bike in the city of like thousands of bikes? And then I thought the director showed he really showed a great way on kind of the futility of the mission when they first start looking for the bike and they go to I don't know,
like a marketplace.
Yeah, it's like a marketplace, and it's also like a junkyard for bikes because you just see people like taking out the parts and fixing them or like cleaning them up or whatever. And you just see all these bikes. You're like, whoa, okay. And then you see how like Antonio looks around. He's just like people just bike on bike after bike, and then like just all in up and down the street, and almost like every scene, there's just hundreds of bikes, like always like in frame essentially. Right. And I'm like, holy shit, like yeah, dude. I was like, I'm pretty sure this is pointless. Like, I get it. Like, keep going for it, man. Like, this is your livelihood. But he really shows that, yeah, this mission is big. This is the original Mission Impossible. Like, you're not going to find your bike in this fucking city of bikes, essentially.
No, it does a great job with that.
Yeah. Yeah, the futility is felt very, very early on in the movie, honestly. Which, I don't know. I thought it was cool. I like how he did it. But yeah, man, I don't know, dude. So it's a film, obviously, right?
Yeah, this one's obviously a film. Definitely.
Not a movie. This is a film.
A film. It says on the cover right there. Film by Vittorio De Sica.
There's no post-credit scene. There's no nothing,
There was a credit scene though, actually, which surprised me. Like, because usually in these old movies, the credits are at the beginning. But this one, the credits are at the end, which is a little bit different.
Is this the oldest movie we've seen now?
The oldest?
Yeah.
48? I don't know.
Because I think 8.5 was like 50s, right?
RJ and I saw Bringing Up Baby.
They were 60s?
Yeah, we watched Bringing Up Baby. We watched Mr. Smith.
Yeah, Mr. Smith
goes
to Washington.
There you go.
Bringing Up Baby.
Yeah.
That was in the 30s.
That was like 30s.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Mr. Smith Goes to Washington was also in the 30s at some point, too.
I don't watch that one. Okay. All right, never mind.
But, so he leaves the church. And he gets the information, like with the guy, right? So then he knows where this person who stole his bike lives at this point.
Yeah, he told him like a general area, or I think he even tells him like specifically what building he lives in or whatever.
Building 15 or something.
Something like that, yeah.
So then he goes there, and there's like a whole like family of women that live there. Like there's like 10 women like preparing dinner, getting ready to eat in this house. And then the main character basically like storms in with his son and like grabs the guy. And then starts like grilling him outside.
I didn't fully understand what that building was because she kept saying we're closed or whatever. She's like, we're closed for business. And then I thought it was like a bathhouse or something, but then I was like, but then they're like cooking for these women. So I was like, I don't know. I didn't fully understand what that building was.
Like a shelter. I don't know.
I have no idea, honestly. But yeah, so he catches a break.
I thought it was his family or something.
No, that's later.
That's
a different part.
Like the guy who stole the bike.
Yeah, that's a different part. That's like right after that.
Right.
Yeah, because he finally catches up, or whatever. He gets a break. He finds the guy who stole his bike, chases them into this building, but then they get kicked out because I think it says like men aren't supposed. I think she says men aren't supposed to be here right now or something like that. And then whatever, he's like trying to walk away. He's trying to walk away, and then he's obviously like not letting up. And then, he accuses him of stealing his bike. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, what's the matter with you?
Yeah, what's the matter with you? Yeah.
And then there's a whole crowd of people there, like watching.
Yeah, it really turned into like a mob pretty fast when he confronted him and like, because he did it in front of his house, so everyone in that neighborhood obviously knows him, and they're like, nah, he would never do such a thing. Like he's a good kid or whatever. So he got pretty. I don't know. It turned into a kind of scary situation for him kind of fast because pretty soon he's like up against the wall or whatever. And there's just tens of people there just all kind of threatening him.
Right. And I was wondering if he even stole the bike. I was like, did he still like?
Yeah. I mean, I think if we didn't get a good look at him, we would have been like, dude, I mean, he could be wrong. Yeah. He could be totally accusing an innocent person right now. But yeah.
Yeah. Everybody in this town seems to be on the kid's side. And is like, yeah, he wouldn't do that. Like, you're accusing him, that he can sue you for libel. Like, you can't be doing that.
I know. I like how they said, like, you can sue you for libel. And I'm like, can you do that just for like in the neighborhood? It's not like he's like on the radio or like on television on the radio. Be like, oh, this kid fucking is a bicycle thief.
Accuse someone of committing a crime that they can go to jail for. I think that's pretty liable. Like, I don't know. I'm not a libel lawyer.
I know. When I think about libel, I think about, because you only ever hear about libel when it's like companies or celebrities or something like that, you know, or you know, someone who maybe just even inadvertently became famous, but you never hear about it in like a local situation, you know, just because, oh, there's some dude in town who's calling me a bicycle thief. Like, I'm going to sue him for libel. Yeah, this is not a situation I ever thought of before.
So the whole town loves this kid, apparently. And as the main character is accusing the kid, hey, you stole my bike, this kid starts having a fucking seizure, like in the middle of the street.
Yeah, which I'm so pretty sure he faked, honestly.
You think he's faking the seizure? Yeah.
I think so, too.
Never know, man.
It's a pretty good way to get out of a situation, for sure. And, you know, I wouldn't put it past a bicycle thief, bro, to have a contingency plan like that. Where he's like, there's fucking,
gain some sympathy.
Yeah, I love it. I love how his mom is like, my boy, he's a good boy, leave him alone. It's so funny. I don't know why.
Grabs a pillow for him.
Yeah, I was like, that's a real Italian mother right there.
Look what they did to my son.
My son, my beautiful boy.
My beautiful boy.
But yeah, I like when they actually go into the apartment to look for the bike, and they're like looking under the bed and stuff, and I'm like, I mean, I guess you could hide a bike there, but not really. And I just thought, like, okay, dude, like, you really think he's gonna keep the bike? Because this definitely seems like a black market situation where he just probably like hawked it or whatever, or just sold it for parts, essentially. But I get it. Obviously, you know, you found this place, you're gonna check it out.
Man is desperate, dude. One thing on his mind is bike. So
yeah. Okay, dude, if an American made this movie, like, this dude would have gone on a rampage to find this fucking bicycle, dude. He would have been like threatening people and fucking beating them up. Like, if this is John Wick, he would have killed that entire fucking alleyway of like those neighborhood guys, you know, with a pencil, you know, kind of shit. Yeah, man, I don't know.
This movie definitely didn't have the American ending.
There's nothing American about this movie, dude. It's just, I don't know. I don't want to say it's very Italian because I've only really seen like 3 or 4 Italian movies in my life, but it kind of reminded me a little bit of Fellini because it's just very like
neo-realist.
Yeah. Just mundane in the sense that it's just everyday life, essentially. It's not some grand adventure or story. It's just,
it is pretty mundane.
Yeah, it's just a normal, like, it's unfortunately a normal day for this guy that, you know, this like little glimmer of hope that he's finally gonna have a good life, and then boom, fucking bicycle gets stolen on day 1 of his new job, dude. Like, not even day 1, it seems like hour 1, because you see the dude train him, and he's like, oh, you know, you're gonna put some glue down, you're gonna put the poster, and then you're gonna put another thing of glue down, and they're like, all right, good luck, and then he goes away. You see him putting up a poster, boom, bike gets stolen. So it seems like in the first hour of his new job, his fucking bike gets stolen. Which I'm like, damn, like, you couldn't even give him one good day. Like, holy shit. I think this movie's supposed to be depressing.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of depressing, especially, I feel like it does a good job of, like, everybody has, like, their own story and their own thing going on, but really you're only occupied with the main character and his bike. But it's like he goes into a building that has some sort of seer in there. Who is like a fortune teller.
Yeah.
And there's people like saying, hey, like, my husband's an alcoholic. Hey, like, I'm sick, blah, 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 blah. Like, they have their own stories, but then he rushes in like, I'm more important. I'm going to go first. Yeah. And he just like cuts everybody in line to talk to the fortune teller. He's like, hey, my bike got stolen. And it's like, you see all these people with their own stories and their own like horrible things going on that they need answered. But then he's like, I'm more important because my bicycle.
Yeah.
And it's like, it shows that he's like,
I don't care about your drunk up husband who probably beats you. Like, Like, he's still gonna beat you tomorrow, but I need this bicycle today, you know?
I mean, it is Italy. So.
We've seen Raging Bull or whatever.
But I feel like this movie does like kind of shows without showing too much, like the fact that everybody's like living their own life. And,
Yeah,
like, has their own thing going on.
Yeah, you get like a small glimpse of like other people's stories. I mean, even with his own family, because he goes to that fortune teller because his wife went to her first, right? And she's like, "Oh, let's go here real quick," and she owed her like 50 lira for some fortune that she asked for or whatever. And so you're like, oh, okay, she kind of does do stuff like instead of just being at home, obviously, she has her own like little life. But that's kind of all you get is that she sees the fortune teller every once in a while. But dude, it was funny because I was listening to everything that the fortune teller was saying. And she's not a fortune teller. She's literally just telling you what it is. Like, you're like my bike was stolen. She's like,
it is what it is.
Yeah, she's literally like, it is what it is. You either are gonna get it back quick or you're never gonna get it back. And I'm like, yeah, okay, those are kind of like the only two options technically. And then when she's talking to the other people, you know,
you're ugly, my boy.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know what that dude was asking for. Oh, well,
he's trying to get with some girl.
Yeah, I think he was talking. I think he was talking about whatever, the love of his life who doesn't pay him any attention. And she's telling him, you know, like, oh, if you can't grow crops on your land, go to other land or whatever. And she's like, you're ugly, dude. She called him ugly like 5 times. Like, you're ugly. You're ugly.
And he might have
been ugly,
you know?
like UGLY. And I just thought it was so funny. It's like,
he didn't have no alibi.
He did not have no alibi. And she's like, just go look somewhere else, essentially. And then when you hear the girl talk about her drunk husband, and then he's like, she says, that's his cross to bear. Like, you're the one who like encourages him or something like some shit like that. And I'm like, what kind of fortune fucking teller is this? Like, it just sounds like you're just stating the obvious instead of saying like, you know, whatever, like, oh, your husband's not going to clean up his act or he is going to clean up his act. Like, there's no future in it. It's just retelling what you just told her, essentially. Like, yeah, your husband's a drunk. Maybe that's what do you want me to say about that?
I don't know. Maybe that's how fortune tellers actually are in real life. Like, I've never been to one, but I would assume they're kind of like, it could work out, it couldn't work out.
Yeah, but I think they are more like future predicting, you know, like they try to say something's gonna happen in the near distant future. But yeah, I just thought it was funny because I was like, dude, this chick sucks. Like, she's just repeating whatever the fuck they're just saying, or she's just insulting them.
They call her the Holy One, right? Isn't that her?
No,
like,
the one that sees.
The one that sees.
Yeah,
she's a seer.
Yeah. I think those 3 ladies at the beginning say they call her the Holy One, and then they say, oh, the one who sees.
Yeah, I do remember hearing holy something, but I didn't fully hear it.
I almost thought the Pope was going to be in this movie when they said that. I was like, oh, the Pope's upstairs?
I thought it was going to be like a big deal, like a Pope or a Cardinal or something, you know, someone like really impressive. And it's like, nope, it's just some lady who's probably just scamming all these people.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, for 50 lira.
She's not giving bad advice. So,
she's not giving advice at all. Well, I guess the first one was like, I mean, she did tell him to give up. She's like, go look for another woman.
Yeah,
like
that's
elsewhere.
Actually pretty good advice, bro. There's a lot of people.
Yeah, but with the bike, it's like, she's just a little, you're probably not going to find it. Okay, like, okay. And with the drunk, like, yeah, your husband's a drunk. Next person, like, you know, fucking number 17, come forward now.
And as soon as that scene ends, he's like, okay, he didn't help me. He like leaves and he sees his bike, or he sees like someone he recognizes outside or something.
Right.
He starts running away.
Right after that?
Yeah, I think so. Like after he leaves that building with the fortune teller, he leaves with the son. And then isn't there someone who like runs away right after that?
I'm trying to remember if that is
it's
the timeline of events. Right?
Yeah, when he goes out of the fortune teller's place, that's where he sees the thief, and that's when he starts chasing him.
Oh, okay, so it is.
Chases him to that bathhouse or whatever that place. I think it was a whorehouse, honestly.
Yeah,
or something along the lines of that. Yeah, because when they open the door up, or like the lady that says, you know, we're closed or whatever, and when they open that, where she opens that door up, I saw a sign or a painting on the wall that said like 18 Diano or A-N-N-O. So that's why I was like, okay, it has
at least 18.
At least 18, something like that, you know, and they tell the boy specifically like he can't come in, the young son.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it's like, Yeah, I didn't know.
It might be. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, okay.
That was my thought.
Okay, I didn't even think about that.
Hid in a whorehouse, I guess.
I guess maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude, I don't know why. Also, like when we started getting more better close-up looks of the bicycle thief, dude, I don't know. I felt like that dude was either like a drug addict or drunk. There was something about like his like the look in his face and like how he like can't like do any like eye contact. I was just like, dude, I don't know. There was something about him that seemed druggy. Like he was definitely had like some kind of addiction.
So you think he stole the bike is what you're saying?
What?
So you think he stole the bike?
I'm pretty sure he stole the bike, yeah. And sold it for drugs, I guess. I don't know.
There was never a bike to begin with. This guy was crazy the entire time.
You're just imagining it.
The bike is the friends that we made along the way, dude.
That's the neo-realism coming in. It was like, was he dreaming or was this that bike actually there?
Yeah, because if you're talking about neo-realism is like mixing reality with like dreams or like whatever kind of stuff like that. I was just like, what's the dream sequence in this? Like, was it the whole movie? Because we did not get that conclusion. You know, there was no like conclusion to it.
There's a conclusion to this movie.
No. I'm just saying like there was nothing about it that seemed dreamlike.
Right.
So there was like, so if it was a dream, there was no like wake up moment, you know, or whatever. Is what I mean.
It definitely made like commentary about humanity for sure, like the human spirit and like.
I think it's So what the last thing we talked about? Confronting the bicycle thief, and then. You know, the cop tells him, hey, man, like, there's all these witnesses. They're going to choose his side over your side. You won't win, blah, blah, blah. He's like, kind of just give up. So then you see him and his son, like, walking away. And, you know, he's just completely, like, downtrodden, whatever. He just has, like, the look of defeat in his face. And then you see it. You see him, like, looking at this bike.
Well, he goes into a shop, right? After that, needs some mozzarella sandwiches.
I think it was before that.
Is that before?
Yeah, I think it was before he confronts the bicycle thief or something. I don't know why I'm already fucking up the timeline of events, but yeah.
But that part isn't too important, I guess. It just shows that like the kid is wants to be rich. He's like looking over at like this rich family eating this really fancy meal at this restaurant.
Yeah.
And then like they're just eating mozzarella sandwiches.
Yeah, I think he was trying to show that like he is still like, because he was mad at his son for kind of disappearing for like a little bit, and then that's when he tells him like, oh, go hang out by the river, and he sees that kid that almost drowned, and he was afraid it was his son.
Right. And
then after that, I think that's when he because he saw that his son is so upset with him because he yelled at him and told him to like go home or whatever. And then he's like, no, you know what? Let's go get a pizza or whatever. And then they go to that restaurant. And I think it was just trying to show that he is a good dad and he cares about his son. And he just had a bad moment where he snapped at him and just kind of took out his frustration on him.
An Italian restaurant without a pizza.
He did smack him, right?
He did smack his kid.
Yeah, he did smack him. Yeah, so I think it was just trying to show that like he is a good guy. He's just kind of in a bad situation. And then. Yeah, so later when, you know, the cop tells them to just kind of give up on it, you see them like walking just defeated, and you see Antonio staring at a bike, and you kind of can tell what's about to happen because he tells his son, go to the streetcar. He's like, go to the streetcar because he doesn't want to see him do what he's about to do.
But you don't know what it's gonna do. You're just like, oh, what? Like something's gonna happen. You thought he was gonna steal it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. At first, I thought
he was eyeing that bike way too much.
Yeah, dude,
I thought it might have been like his bike or like the piece of the bike that he noticed.
At first glance, I thought that's what maybe he was gonna do, but then he kept staring at it. Like he kept like looking back and like staring at it, and I was like, oh no, this is a little bit more. I don't think he's just gonna go see if it's his bike or not. And yeah, so he steals the bike or tries to steal the bike anyways, and then
grabs it. The guy inside the building immediately comes out. Hey, that's my bike.
Yeah, mi bicicleta. Yeah, and then so he steals it. He's, you know, trying to get away, but this guy screaming for help, like, you know, bicycle thief, bicycle thief. The people actually help him. Like they surround him, stop him, and catch Antonio stealing the bike. And I'm like, damn, where were y'all at? You know, when this happened to Antonio,
like 20 people.
Yeah, dude. There's a lot, and
basically.
Dude, some of them were fast. Which I was also like, okay, is he fast or Antonio? Are you just slow as fuck? Because you're on a bicycle. Like, you should be winning this race right now. Like, there's no reason that dude should have caught up to you, but he did catch up to him.
Guess he just sucks at riding a bike.
I don't know. He's just not that fast. Maybe he really didn't want to steal a bike or whatever. Obviously, he didn't want to,
but he had to, man.
In his eyes, he had to.
It's I thought that part was probably one of the best parts of the movie. The fact that like the whole movie is him looking for his bike. He's like, oh, well, how could someone do this to me? My whole life is ruined. And then at the end, he's like, well, I'll just steal my own bike and then I'll be fine. Which is like actually very realistic explanation of like why people commit crimes and stuff and why people do bad things to other people. It's like, well, someone did something bad to me, so I'll do it.
Hurt people, dude.
Right, yeah.
It's that classic.
It was a very good representation of that.
So that was actually the part that kind of made me go, you know what? Okay, I like this movie because literally, like everything you just said, and then I thought, wow, he literally becomes what he hates, right? You know. He did it. He became himself a bicycle thief.
He's almost justified in doing it in a way because like he can't find his fucking bike and he needs the bike to live.
I wouldn't
like
say
in a
that.
way he's justified. Like in a way,
I know what you're trying to say, but like I know what you're trying to say, but
like the whole stealing a thing of bread because you're starving. Like that
like
argument.
I've heard that, right? But I mean thievery is still thievery, right? And he again like. He's hunting down, like, to him, who is, like, the most despicable person, right? A man who just stole an innocent man's, like, livelihood, essentially. And then, but he doesn't know he could have been doing the same thing to this guy. Like, that dude, like, probably used that bike. Maybe used it for important things.
He doesn't know his story.
And exactly. He doesn't care, right? Because he's, like, in his eyes, he needs it more than the guy he's stealing it from, right?
The main character is only occupied with his story and he doesn't care about any other person's like life or story. Yeah. So it's like whatever story is behind that bike of the other person doesn't matter because it's about him.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So I really couldn't predict the ending of the movie, right? I'm like watching it. Yeah. I was just like, oh man, is he going to find his bike? Is he, again, like I always thought like, cause I obviously grew up with like American movies. So I keep thinking like, oh, they're going to try to give him a happy ending where it's either he's going to find his bike or he's going to somehow get another job that, you know, pays as much or almost as much, whatever.
The news is
kind of like a good situation.
Everyone in the village came together
and bought you a
and
bicycle,
had all different parts of the bike and we all put it together just for you, Antonio.
I just kind of thought I was like, oh, maybe it'll be something like that. And then, yeah, dude, I loved how it kind of came full circle and he ended up becoming himself a bicycle thief. I was like, whoa. I was like, because to Antonio, this is like the worst thing he's ever done, obviously. Like but he felt like he had to do it. And then his son caught him or saw him, you know, stealing the bike. And then, you know, and that dude gave and the dude giving him mercy, right? Because he's like, because he could have reported him to the police and he
had him apprehended basically.
Yeah, he had all these witnesses and everything, but he's just like he saw like I think he saw in Antonio's face that he really didn't want to do this and that he was just desperate. Right. And he told him like, you know what, it's fine. Just let him go.
Plus his bike didn't get stolen too, which probably helped. Like, he actually got it back.
Yeah, and then also obviously he saw his son and just felt bad for him, and he was like, yeah, I think he's just in a really bad situation. So he laid mercy upon him, and then like that final shot where him and his son are walking away, and he's just like crying. I was like, damn. I was like, that's okay. And then it fucking ends right there. Just fine or whatever, or just fine as Bentley likes to say it. And I thought, damn, dude, like that shit was kind of depressing, honestly. And then I realized that, like, oh, right, I had to stop looking at this movie like an American and realize that not everything has a happy ending. You know, sometimes the character dies. Sometimes you know you don't get your bike back. You know.
Yeah. It happened to me, man. I got my bike stolen and didn't get back.
Yeah, you said you got your bike. RJ got their bike stolen. Yeah.
2 out of the 3 of us. One of these days, Amelia.
I gotta get a bike so someone can steal it.
I'll steal it.
So someone can steal it. Actually, I have a bike. I just don't use it. I bought it. That's stupid. I don't even know why I bought it.
Is it a Schwinn? Get a nice one.
It's
a Huffy.
It's a pretty mediocre, whatever Walmart bike.
Brand.
Yeah, Walmart bike probably. I just bought it off of like OfferUp. But yeah, man, I liked it. I liked the sad ending, honestly, because it's real. It's so real. Like that's
the ending makes the movie definitely because it's kind of boring a little bit, especially in the beginning. I think like I don't know.
See, if you weren't
It takes a little bit to
if you
spend.
weren't on a rampage
Going.
and started like intimidating and beating people up, then we'd have that'd be a movie. But because he's just doing some kind of, sad version of detective work, it's a film. But yeah, man, I don't know. I actually like the ending. I thought the ending is kind of what made me go like, you know what? Okay, I like this movie. This is a good movie or film, whatever. And yeah, dude, just something about that realistic ending was just kind of refreshing to me because I'm actually sometimes I just get tired and I'm like, you know what? Sometimes the good guys don't win and the good guy becomes the bad guy essentially,
Right?
And that's what this story is. So I liked it. I really commend him for actually going for the real but unfortunately sad female.
Yeah, it explained I guess you could call it the cycle of criminality, like better than anything I've seen before, where like people feel justified in committing their crimes because they were wrong or whatever. And it explains it without words.
Yeah.
It just does it through like action.
It's how Anakin becomes Darth Vader. Star Wars is based on the bicycle. Is based on bicycle thieves.
Well, Pee-wee's Big Adventure is actually based off the bicycle.
That's the best movie that's based off bicycle thieves.
Might even be better than the original, actually.
Yeah, I would say so.
Like I was expecting this movie to be more of an adventure movie because of that. But like really he just stays in like Rome the entire time.
I mean, he thought that's probably like I don't think he thought the bike was gonna leave town, or
True.
whatever.
Right. Well, yeah, and Pee-wee's Big Adventure, like that movie's like better than the Bicycle Thief.
Yeah.
I will confidently say that. It's
I gotta watch it sometime. I still haven't seen.
It's fantastic, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. So thinking about the movie, right, and then obviously the moment when he steals the bicycle. So I was like, oh, is this why the movie's called Bicycle Thieves, plural? Because he himself becomes a bicycle thief at the end of the movie.
right.
Because in the
that is
beginning it was just
interesting.
one. It was one guy and stole his bike.
Well,
or
he had his
whatever.
friend with the.
Yeah, he did have his friend.
It
yeah.
seemed like it was like a gang of people, or like I think there was a third. I think there was a third
There was
person
like two or
too.
three of them. Yeah.
Who stole the bike? There's a
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they held. Yeah, they
Because
helped
obviously
him
it
steal
was the
the
one.
bike.
It was the one guy that rode off with the bike,
Mhm.
but he had like two other friends. I want to say like helping him out. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Like-
no, he did. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I was kind of thinking like, oh, maybe that's why it's called bicycle thief because at the end, he is the bicycle thief, or he becomes
Right.
the bicycle thief.
No, that's a good point, man. Because they could have just easily called it the Bicycle Thief or a
Yeah,
Bicycle Thief
yeah.
or something, but
Or
and
whatever
also
the
he's
other-
like paranoid because you see like they film. I think I said this before, but they film like just a ton of bikes. Like you just see hundreds of bikes, and it's like
yeah,
he's like looking at them. Is that one mine? Is that one mine? Is that one mine? And it's like
yeah. You just
everyone's
see,
a
yeah.
thief.
Again,
The
you see
bicycle thief.
this like that really again that really helps with the whole like overwhelming feel because everything reminds them of the bike, right? Like they're like any of these bikes could be mine, and then but obviously they all none of. I mean, there's a good chance that none of them are his. And it was just a great way to show the again the futility of the mission. Like wow, there's a really good chance we're not gonna find this thing. Like this is a fucking bike city essentially. Everyone's on a bicycle here. Like you barely saw cars. You know, I mean, some people took the streetcar, which is whatever. I didn't realize the streetcar was just like a trolley or whatever, or like the cable.
yeah,
whatever
it's like an
thing.
electrical line.
Yeah, I didn't realize that's what a streetcar was. When I first heard streetcar, I literally thought it's a car for the street.
Like a bus?
No, like a personal car that you drive like on the street. I always thought that's what
Really?
a streetcar was.
Mhm.
Honestly, yeah.
I think most people just call them trolleys. Honestly,
I mean, here, yeah, it's definitely like
Yeah.
a trolley or whatever. But
streetcar named Desire.
a streetcar named Desire. Yeah, I've never seen it. Maybe if I saw that, I would have put it together sooner. But I've never seen it. But
But this
yeah.
movie captured Italy pretty nicely. Like the whole thing is shot in Rome. I think you could like see the Colosseum in one of the parts. I might be wrong, but it shows the city off
remember.
really nicely. Like right after World War II. So
Yeah.
it's really interesting for that. If you're like a history nut or something.
Yeah, I mean for 1948, yeah. So yeah, it's in 1948. So again, just like what 3 years after the war, or I mean, Italy might have like fully surrendered in 44, but it might have been 45. I don't remember. But yeah, I thought how it showed Italy. Hey, you can even though they don't mention the war, you can see that they're like rebuilding. Because
Mhm.
I mean, again, like this dude, he's like in a crowd of 50 people just waiting for his name to be called up to say that you have work. Like I don't think that's like how they normally would do things by any means.
I feel like you could also tell the economy is kind of fucked up too, because like you can just tell everything's really inflated. Like the price of the bike is 7,500 like lira. Or
Yeah, I was
whatever.
trying to figure that out.
It's almost kind of like the yen or something.
Yeah, I was like, what is this yen? Like, why is your number so high?
Right.
Yeah.
Probably, I would guess because of inflation or just like that, some economic thing that they're going through, and that's why.
I was really I was hoping to hear when they go to the restaurant. I want to hear the prices of things because I was trying to figure out like, okay, like what is the price of 2 sandwiches and a full bottle of wine here? Yeah, I remember just trying to figure out how much things cost in this. Well, because he said the bell. I think the only other price we heard was the bell when the kid's looking for one, and that. I don't know. That dude was like trying to fucking kidnap that kid, but he's like, oh, let me buy you this bell. I see you've been staring at it for like an hour, and he just wouldn't leave him alone about it. I was like,
yeah, a little
bro,
overly
who
friendly.
is this creep, dude?
Right.
Like, I thought he was like a straight up fucking
That's true. I forgot about
pedophile,
that.
dude.
Could have been, dude.
Yeah,
honestly
he could have. I mean, he seemed pretty disappointed when his dad showed up. So,
like I said, everybody has their own.
He's like, damn, I don't get to rape
is.
this kid. Damn it, ruined it. But yeah. Yeah, I think he said the bell was like 125 lira. So I was like, what? Yeah, I was trying to figure out the
5 cents
the price of
here.
things in this fucking movie. I think they really showed great how just kind of Italy's still rebuilding. You know, I mean, you do see some. I mean, some people I guess will always be rich, like no matter what the situation. But most people are pretty like down on their luck or kind of like scraping by, essentially.
Yeah, nobody's really like rich in this movie that much.
Yeah,
but
so what'd you guys think of the movie overall? Like, what are your overall feelings for it?
I'd have to watch it again. Honestly, I liked it. I enjoyed it, but it took a little bit for me to sink into. Honestly, like the first hour, I was just like, okay, like looking for his bike. All right, but I think the theme of it gets explained and fleshed out throughout it, and then it's very interesting by the end.
RJ?
I found it pretty boring. I was not a fan. I've seen a lot better foreign films that kept me entertained.
Oh, sure.
Better.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just felt like, it was very repetitive of him just constantly just trying to find this bike.
I mean, that's the whole movie.
I know.
I mean,
there's no like big
movie.
exciting like thing in the plot where it's like, whoa, that's crazy that happened. It's just kind of like mundane.
No, again, it's it's just the day to day, dude. It's literally someone's life. It's a movie based over what 2-3 days max.
Yeah,
and the whole plot of the movie is just him trying to get his bicycle back, and he does like again an American would go to extreme lengths to get this bicycle back.
Where like a ton of characters who like saw the bike, like a prisoner is like, yeah, I had the bike, and then I sent it off to there.
Yeah, and he finally found it. He's like, oh, I already sold it, or I already, whatever, got rid of it.
Right.
Yeah, kind of thing.
In America, it would be way more of a spectacle, like circus.
I'm telling you, dude, it would have been John Wick. Like if an American made it, it's John Wick. It's him getting his car back, and then this movie, it's him getting his bicycle back. But yeah, I mean, I get it. It's obviously like not like the most interesting movie by any means, but I'm actually a little just relieved that it's not as artsy as I thought it was going to be. I don't know. I mean,
it's not artsy at all.
Yeah, I was just I was very much judging a book by its cover, which I should not be doing, but I did it, unfortunately. And yeah, so I was kind of just glad that the movie was very straightforward. There was nothing. Again, I don't think there's like a lot of like metaphors or like symbolism. It's just it's just a man's depressing life, dude, essentially over 2-3 days. And yeah, it's a pretty straightforward story. And again, I wasn't really caring for the movie until the very end where he himself becomes a thief. And then you kind of realize, again, like the cycle, obviously not violence, like the cycle of violence, but like the cycle of crime, essentially. Right. So I thought that was cool. But yeah, obviously it's not like the most interesting movie in the world or anything.
It's a slow burner, as they like to say, for sure. And,
definitely.
There's more exciting movies out there, and
it's only like I think it's only like an hour and a half, right?
Yeah,
hour and a half. Yeah,
it's the soundtrack was actually really good. Almost.
Oh, dude! Always in Italian films is the soundtrack going to be absolutely fantastic.
Like I couldn't tell if they like ripped it from like some composer, like Brahms or something, or I don't know, but like. It was very fitting to like the whole movie, and it just kept playing during the whole movie. Yeah. Like very fittingly. So I thought the soundtrack was pretty
I remember the music when he's working the first day. He's like, he has a biggest smile on his face, you know, putting up these posters. And the music was really setting the tone about like, dude, this dude's like on top of the world right now. And he's just doing a normal job. He's just putting up posters across like the town or whatever. But yeah, the music really made it seem like, oh, dude, this guy's like, he's on cloud nine right now, man. Like, this is the greatest day of his life. Like, he got a good paying city job or whatever, which is very sought out there. And then his bike gets stolen and it kind of goes dun, dun, like, not obviously dun dun dun, but it the Italian equivalents of that essentially.
No, the record scratches. It's like, his life got flipped upside down.
So you're wondering how I got myself in this situation? That's me. Yeah. But yeah, dude, the music was fantastic. But I guess almost in like every Italian movie, the movie's always good, or the music's always gonna be top notch.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend this movie to most people.
There's barely I can't.
You'd have to be a movie like nerd.
Yeah, like a cinephile. You just have to be one of those guys who's just like really into movies or films. Yeah, because I'm definitely not recommending. Dude, there should be a series where we just show Gen Z kids like fucking movies like made before like 1990.
Yeah,
just to see if they can even fucking sit through it, man. Like I told you, I showed my nephew and my niece Pulp Fiction, and I was like, okay, this might have not been the best idea. And not because of like the violence or the sex or whatever, but literally just because it's like all dialogue. Except for like a few key scenes, obviously.
But the dialogue is so good.
No, it's obviously incredible, but
dialogue is as good as the action.
But Gen Z kids don't give a fuck about dialogue, dude. They want like flashing lights and 30-second videos, you know? So I just remember thinking like, this actually might be a really rough watch for them. And I didn't think about it. But I mean, at the end of the movie, they actually really liked it. So, you know, it does kind of work out. But God, dude, I can't imagine showing them Bicycle Thief, dude. My nephew would be like, yo, this is like a joke, right? Like, is he gonna punch somebody? Is someone gonna punch somebody at some point? Give me something.
Movies have definitely gotten more exciting since 1948. What was this? 49?
Yeah. 48, yeah.
Like, this movie didn't have to be exciting or anything, so
nah, it really did. It really didn't have to be. But yeah, I remember like there's a few scenes of the movie where I'm just like, because obviously nothing like really happens, and I kept thinking about this like scene with fucking Peter from Family Guy. He's like, geez, someone throw a pie or something, because he's just watching like a really boring like opera or something like that. He's like, someone throw a pie, and so I was like, yeah, dude, someone throw a fucking pie.
Pizza pie.
Yeah, I just remember thinking that. But yeah, that's just how my brain works.
Yeah, this movie does not have any like.
There's no really exciting moments, man. It's a slow burn for sure.
No big jokes. Yeah, no exciting moments.
No,
no love interest or anything.
I mean, he has his wife, but there's like that's not like the story. Yeah,
there's no question on their relationship.
I mean, the only parts of the movie we laughed at was like in the church scene when like remember like the kid opens up like the confessional and the priest just like smacks him on the head.
Right.
He's like, bah! And they're like, oh, that's funny. And then
they do a Hail Mary in front of the camera. Remember
because they're being chased and they're crossing the whatever that thing is called, and they're like, damn it, we have to we have to bless ourselves every time we cross this thing, including during chases.
Is that a thing in the Catholic Church?
It is like when you cross that. I forgot what it's called.
The effigy. I don't know. The Virgin Mary.
I'm not sure. I don't think it's an effigy. But I'm really not sure. But yeah, you are supposed to bless yourself when you do that.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't catch that.
Bicycle Thieves.
Yeah, there was some.
There
was some like very minor commentary on religion here, but it wasn't very like
obvious.
Really, it was very small. It's just like their like tradition of.
Yeah, I don't think it's even like. Yeah, I don't think it's I don't know. It's a commentary. It's just references essentially. Like I don't think they're like trying to say anything about Catholicism or whatever, because it's obviously Catholicism. Yeah, it's just kind of there. Right. But I just think it's like it was a nice little joke that they have to bless themselves every single time they cross it. And again, during a chase, it's just kind of funny.
I'd like to do some research and see what the church thought of this movie at the time, because like it was almost kind of like agnostic towards religion, and I feel like at the time in Italy there was like the church, the Vatican, was very gung ho about like they would have to like censor your movies and make sure that like it was okay. So I'm kind of curious if there was like religious backlash to this movie now, because it treats religion as like very like gray, very like agnostic almost. So that was kind of interesting.
I don't really think about a religious aspect at all to this movie, just because it seems.
But there is no religious,
except for like the fortune teller thing, because they still call her holy, which is definitely like a religious thing.
It treats religion as like a gray, like it's like a secular view of religion, Christianity. It's like a non-religious view of Christianity, which like would be different back then, because the church was like the one in power. So I'm just.
Man, I don't know, man. Maybe the curtains are just blue, dude. I don't know.
I'm not saying that there's symbolism anywhere.
Oh, okay. No, I was just saying, like I don't know. I just didn't really see like commentary on religion. I just thought like.
Well, I'm not saying there's. I'm saying there's no commentary on religion.
I thought you're saying
there's like a
gray
view of religion. Like there's just not like it's just a totally outsider perspective of like the church,
because there was no real. Because they didn't use.
They're not saying, "Oh, I love Jesus, I love Mary," because like the Vatican would want you to say that back then.
Okay. Maybe. I thought it was interesting that they didn't reference the war at all, because it's only 3 years after the war ended. So I was kind of wondering. Obviously, like Italy, was pretty famous for their propaganda back then. So I was kind of thinking, like, oh, I wonder if they were still like, how about you don't mention the war in this movie, like. People don't need to really be thinking about it. It just ended like a few years ago. But that's kind of like the extent of I thought about that. I just thought it was interesting that they didn't say it. So I thought, oh, maybe there's a reason they didn't mention the war at all.
We don't talk about the war. Right.
Losers, because they lost. But yeah, I don't know, man. Good movie. Would I watch it again? I don't see it happening, but I might, but I really just don't see that happening at any time in the near future. But it's a cool movie, not super artsy, very straightforward story, good acting.
Yeah, just one location, kind of just roam.
Yeah, it's just like around town essentially.
Pretty simple movie.
Yeah, it's a very simple movie. There's not like a lot to follow. It's pretty straightforward. But yeah, I don't know, man.
It's boring. All three of us, it's boring.
Yeah, it's
a boring movie.
It's not a very interesting movie. Yeah,
so
that's why I think like when I see like it's like number 4 on Empire's like 100, I'm like, okay, who came up with this list? Like really, like this?
It's good though. Like what else?
But is it like the top 100? I don't even know. Not even in foreign movies.
Oh, it was the top 4 of all time. Is that what it said?
It said world. No, what the fuck? Did it say?
Top 4. The world's
world cinema is what it says.
So that's all cinema, probably, I guess. But
yeah, no, shouldn't that be all cinema technically? But I don't know.
This movie might be a little bit overrated by a lot of critics, but what do I know? We're three hacks in a podcast. All right.
What did Roger Ebert say about this movie? Like, I don't know.
I bet he did the commentary for it. Honestly, he did the commentary for Casablanca, which I find hilarious.
Really,
the guy who wrote Beyond the Shadow of the Valley of the Dolls did the commentary for Casablanca. Like, I love that.
That's okay. That's right. I did not think he would do that, but okay.
Yeah, I think the Criterion got him to do it, or whoever published it in the 90s or the 2000s.
This is one of those movies that I think like more modern. I don't know, man. Like I think more like modern reviewers or real or God to honest reviewers would be like, yeah, like it's a good movie, but. Is it in the top 100? Like, absolutely not. Is it like a fucking fantastic movie? It's like, no, not really. It's just a good, solid story or whatever.
I would just assume if someone says that they see something in it that I don't.
And that's very much possible. I would
definitely give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there might be something to this movie I'm missing.
Yeah, I'll hear anyone out about it, but I don't know, man. Like the idea that like kind of like pretentious people would be like, oh no, this is cinema. You don't understand. Like. I understand what's interesting and what's not, and it's just not like the most interesting story. But it's cool. It's a good movie. I'd probably give it like, I don't know, on the best day, like a 7. But in terms of like actual like interest and like how much I liked it, probably like 6.5 maybe. Yeah. Something along those lines.
Like this is a movie that doesn't even like care about pacing because
it's just
so slow.
It's so slow, dude. And in an hour and a half, it's kind of hard to be so slow too, because I kind of think about longer movies and I think about like snail pace essentially. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's a good movie. I liked it, but am I buying my own copy? No. Like, am I gonna be like, hey, you guys want to come over watch Bicycle Thieves? No, like it's probably not gonna happen.
You guys haven't seen Bicycle Thieves? Oh my god, it's just like Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
John Wick.
It's the first John Wick, dude.
No, honestly, this movie would have been better if he got out his like Italian pistol or something and started shooting people. Where's my bike?
I thought you
like
like beat somebody up, beat up the bicycle thief. You had him for a minute, like punch him, you know, something. But you know, whatever. It is what it is. But,
and what it is I think pretty good movie. The soundtrack I thought was kind of like really, really integrated nicely.
I like my favorite part. That and the ending.
The ending was probably the best part because it explains the whole movie kind of in a little bit. And yeah, but it's boring a little bit. Like none of the characters are like that exciting that much. Like there's no like, oh, I love when this character's on the screen. It's very realistic, and it's a good exploration of humanity, and like yeah, it justifies people making bad, horrible decisions, or it attempts to, which is interesting.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, again, that's cool and all. Just, it's not the most interesting way to portray those ideas, essentially. But again, I don't know. I feel like I've repeated myself a few times about that. But yeah, it's cool. You know, if you like that old school, like, Italian cinema, it probably is a movie you need to watch if you're like a real like cinephile or whatever, because again, like Bentley said, you're gonna see it on a lot of people's like,
it's on a lot of lists.
Yeah, like top 10s, top 25, whatever, top 50s.
I prefer Fellini, but a lot of people say Fellini's unwatchable.
Like I like the Dolce, whatever. You know, I truly enjoyed that film, but yeah, man, it's just older movies, especially ones like this, it can just be a rough watch sometimes, just because there's just not a lot going on throughout the movie. It's like, you know, it's like what Hideo Kojima calls Death Stranding a strand game, because it's just like an A to B game, and then Donkey made fun of it. It's like, so it's Super Mario Brothers, like, because you're going from the left side of the screen.
You just have to walk to one area.
Yeah,
the whole game is.
Well, the whole game you're like a delivery guy, so you're literally just going from like literally point A to point B. It's Left 4 Dead.
Okay.
It's fucking get to the safe, from the safe house to the safe house or whatever. And
that's what Grand Theft Auto is, though. Yeah. When you really break it down, just go here, drive there.
But yeah, I don't know.
What do you think, RJ? Okay. What's your opinion
on this movie? I already said all I had to say about it. And pretty boring. I didn't really care for it. I would not watch it again, I don't think.
Honestly, I kind of think it's overrated. Kind of in that boat a little bit.
Yes. I think it's crazy that you bought it before you. I know you. Okay.
I liked it. I'll probably watch it again.
So to the future fans out there, or anyone ever listens to this to this podcast, Belly does a thing where he buys movies and doesn't watch them for years. And because it's been a few movies like that now, right?
Oh, yeah, like still a few movies. Like that. I saw Dawn of the Dead in the closet somewhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I think you did that with Dolce or 8.5. One of those. I
saw know. Dolce.
Okay, so
sure.
I know there was a few other movies that you brought over. You're like, oh yeah, no, I haven't seen this yet.
Right. You have most of the movies.
Yeah, and you have the Criterion version, which is usually like the more like expensive version, typically, unless you bought it on sale, obviously.
Usually I like them because usually I trust like the lists or whatever. But this was like one of the first times where it was like,
yeah,
right.
Okay.
But honestly, when I do see a movie like this on lists, like so high up, and then I don't like it, I assume that there might be something I'm missing, and then if I watch it again, I might like appreciate a different like facet of it. So I'm not throwing the towel in on this one.
Yeah, I get it, right? Because like the people who like come up with this, like, you know, they're like in the industry, right? So they like watch movies on a whole other level. That
they know how to write scripts.
We just don't, obviously, because we're not part of that world,
hacks, dude.
Yeah, but sometimes it is like, you know, like, oh yeah, maybe it is. Sometimes we miss something, or I was like, maybe sometimes it's someone just being pretentious and being like, oh no, this is a real. You
can only assume, bro.
Oh, a real film, you know. And I'm like, okay, sure.
It's impossible to assume other people's like reasons for liking.
Yeah, I don't know these people.
You never know for sure.
I don't know these people, obviously, but I don't know, dude. I look at like the Rotten Tomatoes meter, and and when I see like
this one's probably at 100, huh?
Like great, probably. It's like if I see like a great critic score but a bad audience score, or vice versa, it's usually like, or if it's a great audience score but a bad like review score, I was like, it's probably gonna be a pretty good movie, and most of the time it is, because I don't know, especially people on the internet. I don't know, they just think they're so.
I just gave up on the reviews entirely, dude.
Yeah,
especially Rotten Tomatoes.
But I mean, that's what like those lists are, you know. It's just people like reviewing it, right? It's a top 10, so clearly like
it's like they're like, yeah, this was not painful for me to watch. Fresh.
Yeah.
So it's like like Disney movies that are kind of like okay.
Yeah.
They're like they get 100% ratings because it's like, yeah, this wasn't terrible, I guess. Like movie for kids, sure, fresh.
Oh, okay.
So then those movies get like 100% pretty often.
But it's like I don't know, man. Some of these movies, I definitely think someone's like, "Oh, dude, it ticks off the box. It's in a different language. It's black and white. It was made right after."
Don't actually care about that.
Made after the atomic bomb was right after the atomic bomb was dropped.
Yeah,
just stuff like that. You know, there's definitely some people with that thought. Like, obviously, they're not going to admit it and say it out loud.
I don't know. I feel like probably not a lot of people out there like that who just watch a movie because it's black and white. But you can like you can never really know a person's actual.
Yeah, for sure. Again, I don't fucking know these people, but I don't know. You never talk.
They're definitely lying.
You never talk to someone about something, and I'm just like, yeah, you're just kind of coming off more like pretentious in like this like discussion. Like you never had a discussion with someone like that. It's just like,
well, some people just say things that I think are wrong a lot.
I was like, I don't think that's what I was like saying though. Like, I don't know, man.
Like, what do you mean pretend?
Just,
like they're just I think that what you're saying could be pretentious.
Yeah.
Because pretentious means that you have pretensions about an idea. It's like pretension. It's like you have supposed ideas and like suppositions about a thing without like fully understanding it. So like that's what pretension is. So like assuming that someone else is pretentious because they have an opinion is also pretentious.
I don't think that's how that word is used.
Yeah, it's pretentious. It's like you're
I know you're thinking. I think you're like. Yeah, I think you're like doing like intention and pre and kind of like mixing them together. But it's like, I mean, you've seen Frasier, obviously, right?
Yes.
Like they call his character pretentious a lot because of like the way he describes like just like a bottle of wine or like music or whatever, you know. And he has to have like the nicest, richest things because
he's pretentious
because it's like the title and the price tag.
Pretentious because he likes things. He's pretentious.
No, it's not because he likes
because he like will demonize things because they're lower class.
Yeah,
that's pretentious.
That's a factor of pretentious,
but not just because he likes like classical music.
Yeah, no, that's not why he's pretentious.
But he'll say, "Oh, rock and roll is for like the drunks." That's pretentious because he's like he's like generating ideas based on a subject he doesn't understand.
It could
but he's not pretentious because he likes sherry.
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm saying. It's like it's more like about like the way he describes things and also like stuff is like certain things are just like lower to him because it's not rich, it's not famous, it's not expensive, it's not like whatever, like these things.
He has predispensed ideas that are already like in his mind about it. That's what pretentiousness truly is.
I don't think I've ever really seen pretentious used in that manner.
Because most people say
it's wrong. I've never heard
most normal people just use pretentious like, oh, you like sandalwood scents, pretentious, or like, oh, you like fancy candles, that's pretentious, or like you listen to jazz, that's pretentious. It's like it's just that like, but that's not really what it is. And it's almost like that accusation of pretentiousness like is pretentious.
I'm still going to disagree with you on that last part, but I mean, for the most part, like I agree with your definition. That's the last one. Like it's like calling something pretentious is pretentious. Like that doesn't sound right, but I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying, like people can be. I mean, anyone can be pretentious about anything, and especially when it comes to like the arts, it's just like a bigger factor.
Pretension just means you have this preconceived notion of like a thing that you don't really truly understand, and it like dictates your feelings and ideas about it. So it's like, but just liking something that's fancy isn't pretentious, or just like Italian movies isn't pretentious, but it's like if I look down on like superhero movies, that's pretentious.
Yeah, it can be pretentious
because I have preconceived notions on superhero movies without like actually like thinking about it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But like just liking fancy movies or like artsy movies is not pretentious.
No, I wouldn't say it's pretentious, but I think like when you start like, I think it's more about the reasons why, and not just because you like that thing.
True. But it's a good topic, dude. It's a very interesting topic.
All right, so I just googled the definition real quick. Attempting to impress by affecting greater importance, talent, culture, etc. that is actually possessed.
that the Google? Gotta do the
Yeah. Well, I think it gives me I think Google gives you the first Merriam-Webster
because they'll do like the most modern definition. It's like
making usually unjustified. Wait, what? Characterized by pretension, such as making usually unjustified or excessive claims as a value or standing.
So calling someone pretentious for liking foreign films could be pretentious.
Expressive of affected, unwarranted, or exaggerated importance, worth, or stature.
Like Frasier.
Making demands on one's skills, ability, or mean. Oh, no, wait. That's like... No, these are synonyms. Okay. I looked at the definition, and I don't know why I gave me that, but okay. Yeah. Pretentious, trying to appear or sound more important or smarter than you are, especially in matters of art and literature. And that's from Cambridge. That's kind of more how I see pretentious.
But there's probably like so many definitions.
I mean, there's like a few. Yeah,
and that is one of the definitions now.
Solid definitions.
That is how people use pretentious. It's like, oh, that person says they like jazz and classical and opera. That's pretentious.
Yeah, I could definitely see.
And that would be accurate to that description.
Yeah, I could definitely see people doing that for sure. Yeah.
Just but
again, like you said, like people look down on.
But that's
superhero movies.
Definitions
like whatever.
Changing over time to accommodate like the way it's called prescriptivist language, I think. But it's like definitions of words changing to match up with how people like use them in the.
How like literally is now just used as
literally did.
Yeah, instead of figuratively. Yeah, whatever. It's the evolution of language.
But I don't know. I don't care. Like some people can be pretentious. Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, and who's the judge on that too? Like who is the judge on
I think people are naturally judging. Like they don't want to be, and sometimes they'll catch themselves and be like, "Oh, you know what? Like I don't want to like judge this person," but it happens. Like the whole like judge book by its cover, totally get it. But I think humans are just predisposed to do that. Like I think we judge a book by its cover all the time,
right?
Like, and then we can change our minds as soon as we actually like look into it, right? We're like, "Oh shit!" Like I totally misjudged this person or situation or movie or book or whatever.
Like if someone said their favorite movie was Pulp Fiction, there's probably lots of people who are like, who are pretentious about that. And like, never seen a fucking Kurosawa movie before.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, if I heard that, I'd be like, they just probably like Pulp Fiction a lot.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. But
yeah, man. I don't know. Like, imagine like you ask someone like what their favorite movie was, and they tell you, and it's like three German films no one's ever heard of. You're like, oh, okay. And then you tell them your favorite movie, and it's like whatever, some American movie, and they'll be like, oh, okay. Like, obviously, that just comes off as pretentious.
If a person just said that their 3 favorite movies are foreign films, I just assume that they like those movies.
Yeah, I mean, they could really just like foreign films. Yeah,
but they could also just be trying to get some pussy and just trying to like say some artsy shit. Yeah, but you never know a person's actual intentions. Yeah. So. I think that was an interesting topic, honestly.
I like it. All right, we obviously kind of went off track towards the end, right?
No, that was actually pretty on point with talking about bicycle thieves. that discussion on pretentiousness.
Yeah, it's definitely more a discussion of like, I guess like how people see foreign films and stuff like that. But yeah,
if you like bicycle thieves, you're definitely pretentious. Right? Said it here first.
If your favorite movie isn't made by Michael Bay, you're definitely pretentious. But all right, guys, this has been Bicycle Thieves. This has been, 3 hacks in a movie. Overall, cool movie, good movie. Again, if you do not have a good attention span, it's probably not for you because it's a pretty slow burn for an hour and a half. But it's cool, man. The cycle, like how the story ends, it's even though it's from fucking 80 years ago or whatever. It was refreshing to see a not happy ending, honestly. Like sometimes I get just kind of tired of it where I'm like, again, sometimes a good guy doesn't win, and not that he shouldn't win, it just doesn't happen all the time, Like sometimes the bad guys do win, or a lot of the times the bad guys win. So it was refreshing to see a realistic ending like this, honestly. But yeah.
and it did it without saying it. It showed it without.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely a good movie. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody unless you're a real fucking nerd.
Yeah, exactly. A
If you're
real,
a nerd,
like,
check
again,
it
a
out.
real like cinephile kind of guy. But yeah, I'm definitely not recommending this to any of my friends anytime soon. But
All right, well that's it.
yeah.
I guess.
All right, guys. This has been Emilio.
RJ.
Bentley
All right. Have a good night, y'all.
or morning
Or yeah, wherever you're at.
or drive to work.